Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
There are certain things that people like in movie actors, which I don't fit into in various ways.
Vijay, we met in Cannes in 2013. And here is our photo.
I'm ready with another one. Can you see it?
Hi Vijay, how are you?
I am very much all right.
I know.
It's like too much of yourself.
Yeah. But listen, congratulations on She. Congratulations on the success of Baaghi 3. You know, I would have loved to do this in person, but I feel like this is going to be our normal for a while now.
Yes, I'm glad we're doing this in this capacity, at least right now, because I've been needing to talk to you.
What's your headspace like? Are you handling the lockdown okay, or is there a lot of anxiety? What are you feeling?
It's been a learning curve for me because I used to really believe that I really like being by myself and stuff, unless it is being imposed on me. And suddenly I'm like, oh, but I think I'm a people's person. And
correct. We're all discovering things about ourselves.
Yeah. I feel, again, I made another discovery. Like, I'm totally fine being by myself until all the other menial jobs are taken care of. Like, the food is made for me, the kitchen is set for me, everything is in order. So I can really be by myself. Right now I have to do everything because I live alone. So it's been going back to being fully self-relying, self-independent person.
You know, I saw rave reviews for your performance in She. Even critics who weren't so flattering about the show said that you've done a really, fabulous job of this very, very violent, very brutal character. How did you get into that headspace?
Because again, it's so distant from me. At the same time, you just see where to start from. So I was very glad that the character is Hyderabadi. It was written Hyderabadi on script. So I said, that's a start because I've heard the language. And suddenly with that language, I started from there, and then I sat extensively with Imtiaz sir. And because it came from his mind, the whole character and the scenarios, he was able to give me some insight. And I worked closely with Aditi, the co-actress from the show, and she was extremely supportive. But it required me to understand a mindset which thrives in a place like a brothel, you know. It says something about a mind, like who goes to a really tragic place and finds some kind of a, mojo out there. Right. So, and then I watched a bit of sociopaths and psychopaths to understand, and I finally saw one picture of one really interesting serial killer. I can't remember his name right now. His surname is Ramirez. So I looked at that picture.
In the US, right?
Sorry?
In the US, it's an American, right?
Yes, he was called the Night Stalker, basically.
That's right.
In the courtroom, in the prison, everywhere he's photographed, he looks menacing. So, and there is a certain kind of disheveled, but at the same time very well put together kind of a quality that I saw. And then I was also reading up a bit about S&M because it was to do with it was completely to do with power. This person, the whole idea that this person thrives in or is driven by sexuality was something that I discussed and kind of trying to put my head around it. And fortunately, I worked in isolation as well, and I worked with other people, and somehow I was kind of free. I had to drop a lot of inhibitions, shitloads of inhibitions. Sorry for my French, but yeah.
I'm saying, when I saw Baaghi 3, and I honestly felt that it was a very interesting character that finally didn't go anywhere, and I felt like they sort of wasted a fine actor like you. When that happens, Vijay, is it disappointing, or do you do a film like Baaghi 3 for different reasons?
I'm still figuring it out. I've not done an action franchise film which is this is genre I have not attempted before. At the same time, I put myself fully into it, and because what do I do with my time? I have so much time. Uh, when I'm going there to Serbia to shoot, like I can't just be like. So I might as well use my time to make something of the character. And for unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch the film because I was shooting extensively in remote Rajasthan places when it released, and then it got taken off because the theaters were shut.
Hmm.
So I don't know really to gauge, but then um, the fans of the franchise really lapped up the character. I received several messages from people who've seen it, and so I can really make a comment once I've seen the film.
Right, right. I'm gonna. I want to share something with you, Vijay. We met in Cannes in 2013,
Uh
and here is our photo.
huh. I'm ready with another one. Can you see it?
I can. My God. So, Vijay, Monsoon Shootout.
You literally saw my birth in the industry.
Isn't that amazing? And but what I want to ask
I
you,
remember you saw Rangrace when it released in 13,
yeah,
and you reached out to my manager then. I just happened to have one manager in life at that time, and you reached out to her and you told her, "What is this boy?" And I want to talk about him. And because it was the first time you saw me, Chittagong,
right,
I think you managed, couldn't see.
yeah,
And then soon after, this was released. It was released in March, and in May we were in at Cannes.
yeah.
And there was a party in Bombay before that. So that's where you met, and you really told me amazing things about what you liked in my work. And I felt like, man, this is really amazing. And I met you at Cannes. We did an interview for Front Row,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you were patiently waiting for the movie to come out, just like me for years. I remember.
yeah. I loved Monsoon Shootout, but Vijay, I want to ask about that. It was such a honor for that film to be selected in the official selection. Such a it was such a big deal, and then this film that you do doesn't release for years and years. How did you handle
Yeah.
it? How did you it was funny. I read an interview, I think it was in First Post, which was done post Gully Boy, and it said overnight sensation, and I was like, no,
Oh,
overnight sensation, nothing. This guy has been doing amazing work for like 7 years now.
yeah.
How did you keep the faith for that long?
I don't know. I just feel like I have no other way to go. And you know what? I'll tell you something very interesting. I saw Aankho Dekhi whenever it released, and that really sorted a lot of issues in my life. I was really impatient and stuff. I saw that film came out, and I looked at that performance of Mr. Sanjay Mishra, and I said, if at the age of whatever 55, 60, if I can get to do a role like that and get my due, I'm up for this game.
Really?
Yeah, I told myself that day, and I was like, if I have to wait for that long, I'm still up for it because it can happen.
But
It's tough.
it's
It's
very
very
tough.
tough.
Yeah.
Years go by, but you don't know how to spend your evening, and all of those thoughts are there. Uh, and it was extremely tough. I won't deny it because you're sitting on something that can potentially get you into the next league, and that can generate you more work because frankly nobody had seen Monsoon Shootout, and I had to still go test for very minor roles.
Right.
And I was like, I've done a lead and this and that, but then there are certain things that people like in movie actors, which I don't fit into in various ways. So, but then I had to really like. Pink was an important decision. It was a very minor role again, an extremely negative role. But I took up that choice just to work with Sujita and to work with Mr. Bachchan, and uh, I think it paid off because I got noticed by Pink because Monsoon Shootout released much later.
Yeah.
It released in December 2017, whereas the film was ready in 2013. So, so it was an interesting choice because I did that film and it got me some recognition, but I was severely typecast after Pink. that I couldn't take up any other work because I just didn't want to go down that path. And so I said no to every film that wanted me to put me into a car with a girl, in a house with a girl, to a bhabhi, to a maid, or whatever. Just be. So, so then I had no other choice, but I went and worked in South. I did a Telugu film, and I remember the director was giving me narration. I said, before you give me narration, just tell me if this guy is into like brutalizing women or whatever. And he's like, nee, this guy doesn't even talk to women. I was like, yeah.
Vijay, what is the day to day like when you say that like you wonder what are you going to do that evening? But it's not one evening. It's hundreds of
7.
evenings across
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
Just what is the practical advice to people out there who are also trying to make a career in acting? How do you go from one day to the next?
I mean, you have to really learn from the masters. So you have to listen to everything that Nasir Saab ever spoke about acting. And you have to really watch whatever he has to say. He has some key insights into what an actor is, really. And one of
What do you
the
think? Yeah, what?
one of the really important advice he gave to actors is, if you have a plan B in life, if you want to become an actor, if you have a plan B, just go with plan B right away. Because you won't be able to sustain yourself.
Yeah, it's too hard. It's too hard.
Yeah, it's too hard. Because you will immediately look for an escape. Don't give yourself a plan B. If you don't have a plan B impulsively, intuitively, inherently, then maybe you can hang around for a bit, because it is tough. And second important advice that I received, I think it was from Piyush Mishra or somebody like that, is that don't spend yourself on bar tables and angry discussion with friends about how others are doing well and how everybody is so bad and you are so amazing. And so he's like, hold all that inside you and अपने आप को खर्च मत करो, बर्बाद मत करो.
Frustration में, jealousy में.
Jealousy, insecurity, or just sometimes eccentric or just cynical behavior, whatever. Just keep your mind intact, because we focus on bodies a lot these days.
Too much. Too much.
But this is the most important asset for an actor, more than the body, is what I feel. Because if you are able to use this properly, you will really work with the director well and with the co-actors well. And when you have the chance, you will be able to really add value to what you're doing instead of looking for what you are getting out of it. So, and I mean, I'm a big fan of all these incredible actors, and I see their interviews and what they have to say, like Irfan Saab. It's a masterclass every time he speaks. So, and I work with Mr. Bachchan. I watched him closely and how enthusiastic he is on the set all the time, and how prepared he is, and how extensively he works. How meticulously he writes all his dialogues in Hindi. He goes to their co-actors and he rehearses with them. So it's a joy to act. The thing is, if you're not getting a chance to act, you have to still hold on to the joy of hoping for the joy to act,
Yeah. Tell me, though, I read somewhere that you said that now you're very keen to only do leading man roles. Is that true? Because I feel like now lead artists are willing to kind of break that whole notion of a lead and not a lead and do other kinds of things.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I misquoted there. I feel like I need more of the author backing me right now.
So more meaty roles.
Yeah. No, I feel like I can tell the story right now. And it's and I'm really enjoying it. Like I'm able to really enjoy it, and I'm able to not feel pressurized by it at all. At the same time, every time I do something and I hear that we wanted more of you, so I'm like, now I need to give more of me. So that's the basic idea. When I say
you're not locked into this idea, right? I mean, it's not like you're closed off to doing something where it's an ensemble cast. Yeah.
No, I just did Suitable Boy. It's the biggest ensemble you'll see.
Okay, what can you tell us about that? I love Mira. So tell me what you can share about this.
I remember it happened. My casting announcement happened in your interview, and I was like, yeah, she's spoken, now I can talk. So
tell me, what's it like to work with her?
It's like, I don't know. It's like no one other. she's unprecedented in terms of when she has everything lined up for you for the day, even when you're not shooting.
What do you
You have
mean?
to go for your yoga class. You have to do your Urdu class. You have to do your English class. For actors who are riding horses, they have to go for the horse riding. Somebody who's dancing has to go for their dance classes. And she's like a principal, really monitoring everything. And she wants you to bring your A game.
Yeah.
And she will not take anything less. And she's invested in your day when she's shooting on the set. I mean, that's another level of participation
Yeah.
from a director. And this is 180 actors, if I'm not mistaken, or 110. I may be wrong, but it's around 100 plus solid actors. She's extremely, she's a tough taskmaster. At the same time, she's most loving to her actors.
Yeah.
So it comes in big quantity, the love and the expectation both.
Right.
So because we also, a lot of us are doing say English script for the first time because the show is in English, and she's the one, and some people from the BBC are there on the set. They are the one who know exactly how the pronunciation and the cultural references of that time and the colonial India. So she really has a very keen eye as to where we are doing and what we are doing and where we are going wrong, how to fix it. That's why she wants you to be completely invested in the project, even if you are coming for a one-day shoot.
How exciting.
It is very exciting.
You know, I'd watched her direct Amelia. I'd gone to the set and it was just wonderful. And she would tell her actors, one for love. When she wanted another shot, she would say one for love. And is that what she still does?
Oh, she does that. And I have a story around it. So I went to shoot Gully Boy first, and I heard Zoya saying one for love, and we used to shoot. I love that take because it's so free. There is nothing in that take, no expectations in that take. Just go out. Every department can just like do whatever they want in that take.
Yeah,
because you love it.
It's genuinely one for love.
Yeah, it's genuinely one for love because they have the take. It's just that let's see what can happen now. Let the magic happen if it happens.
Correct.
So I saw that. I thought this is Zoya's thing, and then I went shooting for Suitable Boy, and she's like, "What for?" I was like, I've heard Zoya say that." She's like, "Yeah, she assisted me."
Correct.
Kama Sutra, where she learned.
You went from the shishya to the guru.
Yeah, I went from the spaceship to the mothership.
That's right. So, Vijay, right now, when you don't know when the next shoot is going to be, none of us know how this is going to pan out. We're all hopeful. We're all keeping our spirits high and staying positive. But right now, Vijay, how do you stay creatively inspired?
I don't know. I've not been creatively inspired in the last 4 days at least. Before that, I was, because I was shooting in Rajasthan. Then I went to Pankani with a couple of friends before the lockdown, and I was totally in isolation with just 2 friends. And I really, strangely, I've been craving for some downtime because since Gully Boy, I've been shooting tirelessly every day. So I was really hoping that once this project gets over, I'll take a 2 months break or something like that. And it. So it wasn't the scheme of things. It's just that work suffers a bit right now, and not just like it's a problem for everybody right now. So, but I am going to be. So I was I was going to chart out what all I want to achieve in these 21 days, and probably then I will be able to like use my time in a way that it can be very constructive.
Yeah. And what are you binging on? Any recommendations for our viewers?
I haven't seen anything of late, but I really like the show called End of the Fucking World. I liked it even before the End of the Fucking World is happening, but it's the season 2 is out. It's a really nice satire. I like it. It's about 2 teenagers who think they're serial killers. So it's interesting, and I'm going to do some reruns because I have some classics that I want to revisit. A lot of so there are some classics which I have not seen, so I plan to do that more than watching what is happening right now.
Can you tell us which ones?
I haven't seen some of the masters properly. Fellini or especially Tarkovsky, because I've heard everybody is inspired by that person
Yeah.
somewhere or the other, and probably a couple of Kurosawa films. So that's the plan for me.
Sounds good. Vijay, you take care, stay safe, and it was such a pleasure to connect with you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And I can't tell you how wonderful it is to see you soar and get your due. And I hope there's lots of good things to come.
I hope that. Thank you so much, and I know that you really backed me up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you.